Welcome to the Madison Miller Podcast. Today is Monday, May 22nd, 2023. Today I'm going to recap the NBA and Stanley Cup Conference Finals games and look ahead to tonight's games in each sport. MLB, WNBA, soccer, golf, NASCAR, the season finale of American Idol, baseball power rankings, what have we learned so far this season's the theme, news and notes, and best bet. We'll start the NBA, the conference finals. Crazy outcomes throughout the weekend, and we have a game to discuss for tonight. We'll start with Friday night as the Heat beat the Celtics 111-105 to take a 2-0 series lead. Jason Tatum had 34, 13, and 8. Jimmy Butler had 27. And then Saturday, the Nuggets defeat the Lakers 119-108 to take a commanding 3-0 series lead. Jamal Murray, 37 points in the win. Anthony Davis had 28 and 18 in defeat. And then Sunday, the Heat destroy the Celtics 128-102 to take a commanding 3-0 series lead. Gabe Vincent had 29 points for Miami. Jason Tatum only had 14 points and 10 boards. Tonight, 8:30 on ESPN, Nuggets-Lakers, Game 4. The Nuggets going for the sweep. The Lakers trying to force a Game 5. My projection is Denver by 5, total 231.5. And it's Lakers by 3, total 224.5. So I have a 7-point edge on the over, and I have a 8-point edge on Denver, so I'm going to take Denver getting the 3 and plus 132 outright to complete the sweep. But I'll probably bet that because I took Nuggets in 6 for the series, and I need to hedge. So that'd be a good hedge bet by yours truly. And then we'll move on to hockey. We had some interesting results yesterday too, and we'll look ahead to tonight's Game 3 of the Eastern Final. Friday night, Golden Knights defeat the Stars 3-4 in overtime on a game winner by Brett Howden. In Game 1, the number 3 started game with the goal, Jamie Benn. Number 2 started game with 2 goals, William Karlsson. Number 1 started game with the goal, Brett Howden. Saturday, Panthers over the Hurricanes 2-1 in Game 2 in overtime on a game winner by Matt Tkachuk again to take a 2-0 series lead. Number 3 started game with the goal, Alexander Barkov. Number 2 started game with the overtime winner, Matt Tkachuk. Number 1 started the game with 37 saves on 38 shots, Sergei Bobrovsky. And then yesterday, the Golden Knights defeat the Stars 3-2 in overtime on a game winner by Chandler Stevenson as the Vegas Golden Knights go up 2-0 in their series. The number 3 started game with the goal and assist, Mark Stone. Number 2 started game with the goal and assist, Jonathan Marchessault, and the number 1 started the game with the overtime winner and an assist, Chandler Stevenson. Tonight, 8 o'clock, TNT, you have Game 3 of the Eastern Finals between the Hurricanes and the Panthers. The Panthers are minus 115, Carolina's minus 104, over under 5.5, overs minus 114, others minus 106. Panthers plus 1.5 is minus 260, Panthers minus 1.5 is plus 210. Let's say Hurricanes plus 1.5 is minus 260. This is a hard one. I'm going to go with the trend of the unders in the conference finals, under 5.5 at minus 106. I have no idea who wins tonight. The way the conference finals have been going in both sports, maybe it's safe to say that Florida will win. All right. Now move on to baseball. We'll go over the weekend's results, and we will look ahead to the games scheduled for today. All right, Friday, Pirates over the D-backs 13-3, Rays over the Brewers 1-0, Yanks over Reds 6-2, Cubs over the Phillies 10-1, Tigers over the Nats 8-6, Orioles over the Blue Jays 6-2, Mets over the Guardians 10-9 and 10 on a walk-off single by Francisco Lindor. They came back from 2 runs down in the 10th. Braves over the Mariners 6-2. Rangers over the Rockies 7-2. White Sox over the Royals 2-0. Astros over the A's 5-1. Dodgers over the Cardinals 5-0. Angels over the Twins 5-4. Red Sox over the Padres 6-1. Giants over the Marlins 4-3. And then Saturday, White Sox over the Royals 5-1. O's over the Jays 6-5-10. Phillies over the Cubs 12-3. Rangers over the Rockies 11-5. Nats over the Tigers 5-2. Marlins over the Giants 1-0. D-backs over the Pirates 4-3. Yanks over the Reds 7-4-10. Rays over the Brewers 8-4. Astros over the A's 3-2. Cards over the Dodgers 6-5. Mariners over the Braves 7-3. Twins over the Angels 6-2. Red Sox over the Padres 4-2. Guardians Mets postponed, as they had a doubleheader yesterday. So yesterday's results: Yanks over the Reds 4-1. Phils over the Cubs 2-1. Nats over the Tigers 6-4. Braves over the Mariners 3-2. D-backs over the Pirates 8-3. O's over the Blue Jays 8-3-11 to complete the sweep. Brewers over the Rays 6-4. Mets over the Guardians 5-4 game 1. White Sox over the Royals 5-2. Astros over the A's 2-0. Cards over the Dodgers 10-5. Rangers over the Rockies 13-3. Giants over the Marlins 7-5. Angels over the Twins 4-2. Padres over the Red Sox 7-0. Mets over the Guardians 2-1. Doubleheader game number 2, Sunday Night Baseball. All right. The games for tonight, 6 o'clock, you have the White Sox and the Guardians. We know is going for Chicago, and Hunter Gaddis is going for the Guardians. The Guardians minus 120, the White Sox are plus 102, over under 9, overs minus 105, unders minus 115. White Sox minus 1.5 is plus 162, Guardians plus 1.5 is minus 196. I'm going to go with the full game over, but I do not feel good about it. 6:30 Rangers Pirates, Dane Dunning and Luis Ortiz. Rangers minus 138, Pirates plus 118, over under 9, overs minus 112, unders minus 108. Rangers minus 1.5 is plus 115, Pittsburgh plus 1.5 is minus 137. For this one, I'm going to go with Pittsburgh under 4 runs minus 112. Dane Dunning's been excellent this year. D-backs Phillies, Tommy Henry, Zach Wheeler. Phillies minus 225, D-backs plus 188, over under 8.5, overs minus 115, unders minus 105. D-backs plus 1.5 is minus 114, Phillies minus 1.5 is minus 105. Full game over. Cards Reds, Jordan Montgomery and Brandon Williamson. Cards minus 190, Reds plus 160, over under 10, overs minus 118, unders minus 104. Cards minus 1.5 is minus 120, Reds plus 1.5 is even money. I'm going full game under. Blue Jays Rays, Chris Bassett and Trevor Kelly. Rays minus 110, Blue Jays minus 106, over under 8.5, overs minus 118, unders minus 104. Jays minus 1.5 is plus 152, Rays plus 1.5 is minus 184. This is a hard one for sure. But I'm going to go under 4 Rays runs, minus 106. Chris Bassett's been pitching well. 7:20 Dodgers Braves, great series. NLCS preview perhaps. Gavin Stone and Charlie Morton. Braves minus 152, Dodgers plus 128, over under 9.5, overs minus 102, unders minus 120. Dodgers plus 1.5 is minus 154, Braves minus 1.5 is plus 128. For this one, this is a hard one, but I'm going to go under 4 Dodger runs, minus 105. Charlie Morton is having a turn back the clock type of season. 7:30 Tigers Royals, Michael Lorenzen and Brady Singer. Royals minus 112, Tigers minus 104, under 8.5, overs minus 122, unders even money. Tigers minus 1.5 is plus 150, Royals plus 1.5 is minus 182. The Tigers just playing better than the Royals right now. It's plain and simple. Minus 104, going with the underdog on the road. Astros Brewers, Christian Javier and Corbin Burns. Astros minus 112, Brewers minus 104, over under 7.5, overs minus 120, unders minus 102. Astros minus 1.5 is plus 146, Brewers plus 1.5 is minus 78, full game under. That's a no-brainer for me. Fox Sports 1, Giants Twins, John Brebbia and Bailey Ober. Twins minus 148. Giants plus 126. Over under 9. Overs minus 104. Unders minus 118. Giants plus 1.5 is minus 156. Twins minus 1.5 is plus 130. For this one, I'm going to go under 4 Giant runs minus 115. Bailey Ober's been terrific this year. 8:30 Marlins Rockies. Edward Cabrera and Chase Anderson. Marlins minus 126. Rockies plus 108. Over under 11.5 minus 10 each way. Marlins minus 1.5 is plus 118. Rockies plus 1.5 is minus 142. I'm going full game under. Red Sox Angels 9:30. Tanner Houck and Jamie Barria. Angels minus 112. Red Sox minus 104. Over under 9.5. Overs minus 114. Unders minus 106. Boston minus 1.5 is plus 142. Angels plus 1.5 is minus 172. I'm going full game over. And then A's Mariners. Kyle Muller and Luis Castillo. Mariners minus 335. A's plus 270. Over under 7.5. Overs minus 122. Unders even money. A's plus 1.5 is plus 28. Mariners minus 1.5 is minus 154. For this one, I'm going to go under 2.5 A's runs at minus 106. Okay, now move on to the WNBA. We'll go over the opening weekend results. I do not think we have any WNBA games today. We're going to have to check about that, and we don't. So, Friday, Commissioner's Cup, Mystics over to Liberty, 80-74, or 80-64. Commissioner's Cup, Sun over to Fever, 70-61. Sky over to Lynx, 77-66. And Commissioner's Cup, Sparks over to Mercury, 94-71. Saturday, Wings over to Dream, 85-74. And Commissioner's Cup, Aces over to Storm, 105-64. That's an ass whooping right there. Sunday, Commissioner's Cup, Liberty over to Fever, 90-73. Commissioner's Cup, Sun over to Mystics, 80-74. And the Sky over to Mercury, 75-69. We don't have any games again until Tuesday. All right, now we'll shift over to soccer. We'll go over all the notable results from the weekend and look ahead to everything we got going on today. We'll start with Major League Soccer results from Saturday. Nashville over Charlotte 2-1. DC United over the Galaxy 3-0. Cincinnati over Columbus 3-2. Orlando over Miami 3-1. Red Bulls over Montreal 2-1. Philly over New England 3-0. Austin over Toronto 1-0. Chicago Atlanta 3-3 draw. Dallas Houston 1-1 draw. Salt Lake over Colorado 3-2. St. Louis over KC 4-0. LAFC over San Jose 2-1. Minnesota over Portland 1-0. Vancouver over Seattle 2-0. The National Women's Soccer League Saturday, North Carolina Angel City 0-0 draw. Orlando over Washington 2-1. Louisville over KC 2-0. San Diego over Houston 3-0. And then Sunday, Portland over Chicago 4-0. And Gotham over OL Reign 4-1. Dutch era device from the weekend. Ajax over FC Utrecht 3-1. Excalibur over Fortuna 3-0. Feyenoord over Emmen 3-1. Go Ahead Eagles over FC Volendam 3-0. AZ Alkmaar over NEC 3-0. PSV or Heerenveen 3-3 draw. FC Twente over RKC Waldwick 5-0. Sparta over Camber 4-1. And Vitesse over FC Groningen 6-0. No Dutch era device until Sunday. All right, next up we have Liga MX. All right, Saturday, Tigres over Monterrey 1-0. Tigres advances 2-1 on aggregate. And then Sunday, Guadalajara defeats America 3-1 and advances 3-2 on aggregate. German Bundesliga, Friday, Freiburg over Wolfsburg 2-0. Saturday, Hertha Bochum 1-1 draw. Schalke Frankfurt 2-2 draw. Hoffenheim over Union Berlin 4-2. Bremen Cologne 1-1 draw. And RB Leipzig over Bayern 3-1. Sunday, Stuttgart over Mainz 4-1. Dortmund over Augsburg 3-0. Gladbach Leverkusen 2-2 draw. Spanish La Liga. Friday, Cadiz over Valladolid 2-0. Saturday, Villarreal over Girona 2-1. Athletic over Celta Vigo 2-1. Almeria over Mallorca 3-0. Getafe, Elche 1-1 draw. Real Sociedad over Barcelona 2-1. Sunday, Espanyol over Rayo 2-1. Atletico over Osasuna 3-0. Valencia over Real Madrid 1-0. And Sevilla Betis 0-0 draw. So Spanish La Liga returns tomorrow. All right, French League 1. Friday, Lyon over Monaco 3-1. Saturday, Montpellier over Nantes 3-0. Lille over Marseille 2-1. Sunday, Rennes over AC Ajaccio 5-0. Brest over Clermont Foot 2-1. Nice and Toulouse 0-0 draw. Reims, Angers 2-2 draw. Troyes, Strasbourg 1-1 draw. Lens over Lorient 3-1. PSG over Auxerre 2-1. French League returns on Sunday. All right. English Premier League from the weekend. Saturday. Brentford over Tottenham 3-1. Man United over Bournemouth 1-0. Fulham Crystal Palace 2-2 draw. Liverpool Aston Villa 1-1 draw. Everton Wolves 1-1 draw. Nottingham Forest over Arsenal 1-0. Sunday. West Ham over Leeds 3-1. Brighton over Southampton 3-1. And Man City over Chelsea 1-0. Today, 3 o'clock, you have Newcastle and Leicester. Should be an interesting game. Newcastle's -290, Leicester's +650, draws +460. For this one, I'm going to go over 3.5 goals at +122. And Serie A. From the weekend, Friday, Monza over Sassuolo 2-1. Saturday, Bologna over Cremonese 5-1. Atalanta over Verona 3-1. Milan over Sampdoria 5-1. Sunday, Lecce Spezia 0-0 draw. Torino Fiorentina 1-1 draw. Napoli over Inter Milan 3-1. And Lazio over Udinese 1-0. 2 games today, 12:30 of AS Roma and Salernitana. Roma -170, Salernitana 7-1. The draws +320. Hard to go against Roma here. I'm going to take over 2.5 goals at +112. 245, you have Empoli and Juventus. This is a pretty good one. Empoli's +410, never mind. Juventus +150, draw +270. Empoli has some value at +410 at home. It's tough to go against Juventus. I'm going to go with the draw at +270. Believe it or not. USL Championship Friday, Memphis over Tulsa 2-1. And Saturday, Charleston over Monterrey Bay 1-0. Hartford over Loudoun 2-0. Indy XI over Colorado 1-0. San Diego over Miami FC 3-2. Pittsburgh over Vegas 4-1. El Paso over Birmingham 2-1. Detroit over San Antonio 1-0. Tampa Bay over Rio Grande 3-0. Phoenix over Orange County 1-0. And Sacramento over Oakland 3-1. USL returns on Wednesday. I don't remember if we went over the Europa League on Thursday, but if we didn't, Sevilla over Juventus 2-1. They advance 3-2 on aggregate. And NASCAR over Leverkusen 0-0 draw. And Roma advances 1-0 on aggregate. So the final next Wednesday will be Sevilla and AS Roma. And then I want to do UEFA conference, but I can't find we'll do that another day. Alrighty. Now move on to golf, the PGA Championship. It was a real interesting one. And your winner, with a score of 6 under, This guy has owned this course. This used to be my favorite guy to pick at this course. Brooks Koepka, 9 under. Tied for second with 7 under. Scotty Scheffler and Victor Hovland tied for fourth with 3 under. Kurt Katayama and Bryson DeChambeau and Cam Davis tied for seventh with 2 under. Rory McIlroy and Sepp Straka tied for ninth with 1 under. Patrick Cantlay, Justin Rose, and Cam Smith tied for 12th at even. Corey Connors, Shane Lowry, and Victor Perez tied for 15th with 1 over. Eric Cole, Tyler Hatton, and Michael Block. An amazing story about Michael Block. He got a hole-in-one, I believe, at the 15, which was probably the highlight of this tournament. Tied for 18th with 2 over. Patrick Reed, Tommy Fleetwood, Xander Schauffele, Mito Pereira, and Minwoo Lee. Now we're going to go through notables. Tied for 23rd with 3 over. Matthew Neesmith, Alex Smalley, Russell Fox, Ryan Fox. Tied for 26th with 4 over. Colin Morikawa, Justin Sue, Hayden Buckley. Tied for 29th with 5 over. Harold Varner, 3rd, Jordan Spieth, Dylan McCarthy, Callum Tarrant, Keegan Bradley, Hideki Matsuyama, Adam Scott, Taylor Pendrith, Chris Kirk, Patrick Rogers. Tied for 40th with 6 over. Adam Svensson, Bayo Hossler, Heath Liglia, JT Potson, Adrian Mordock, Chester V, Lucas Herbert, Adam Hadwin, Thomas Dietrich. Tied for 50th with 7 over. Stefan Yeager, John Rahm, Nicholas Hojgaard. Tied for 55th with 9 over. Justin Johnson, Lucas Hodges, Max Homa. Tied for 58th with 10 over. Taylor Hogue, Zach Johnson, Keith Mitchell, Phil Mickelson. Tied for 62nd with 11 over. Sewon Kim and Thriston Lawrence. Tied for 65th with 12 over. Justin Thomas, Matt Wallace, Taylor Montgomery. Tied for 69th with 13 over. Joel Dahman, Ben Taylor. Tied for 72nd with 15 over. Tony Finau, Taylor Moore, Scott Stevens. 75th with 18 over. Mark Hubbard. And among those cut, Adam Putnam, Matt Fitzpatrick, Brendan Steele, David Thompson, Christian Ziedenhout, Brian Harmon, Siwoo Kim, Ricky Feller, Alex Noren, Lucas Donald, Ben Griffin, Brett Horschel, Brendan Todd, Nate Taylor, Anirban Lahiri, Ryan Henley, Matt Kuchar, Francesco Molinari, Trey Mullinax, Wyndham Clark, Scott Stalling, Gary Woodland, Joaquin Neiman, Mackenzie Hughes, Jason Day, Nicholas Echeverria, Jimmy Walker, Harry English, Seamus Power, Cam Young, JJ Spawn, Taylor Gooch, Matt McNeely, Abraham Mansford, that was my pick. Sam Ryder, Adam Schenk, Kevin Kisner, Dylan Lingworth, Sunjay M, JJ Colleen, Webb Simpson, Sam Burns, Josh Spite, I almost said Jordan Spieth. And that's it. Jordan Spieth was 5 over. I think I said him. I don't remember. All right, NASCAR from the weekend. We'll go over the results from the truck race and the NASCAR Open and All-Star race. We'll start with the trucks. And your winner was Kyle Larson. Coming second, Ty Majeski. I believe that's who I picked for the race. Third, Matt DiBenedetto. Fourth, Carson Hocevar. Fifth, Bubba Wallace. Sixth, Corey Heim. Seventh, Max Crafton. Eighth, Chase Purdy. Ninth, Ross Chastain. 10th, Grant Effinger. The rest, William Byron, Chris Hacker, Stuart Friesen, Daniel Dye, Brett Holmes, Chris Bell, Caden Honeycutt, Tanner Gray, Lawless Allen, Haley Deegan, Tanner Gray, Chris Wright, Jake Garcia, Colby Howard, Christian X, Tanner Ankrum, Spencer Boyd, Josh Williams, Connor Jones, Nick Sanchez, Timmy Hill, Zane Smith, Ben Rhodes, Raja Caruth, Dean Thompson, and Johnny Sauter. The NASCAR All-Star Open. Winning the race was Josh Berry. Coming in second was Ty Gibbs. Third, Eric Almirola. Fourth, Ryan Preece. Fifth, A.J. Allmendinger. Sixth, J.J. Yeley. Seventh, Noah Gragson. Eighth, Ty Dillon. Ninth, Corey LaJoie. 10th, Josh Belicki. The rest, Harrison Burton, Ryan Newman, Michael McDowell, Justin Haley, Todd Gilliland, and Chandler Smith. And the all-star race, your winner was Kyle Larson. Coming in second, the person who I almost picked, Bubba Wallace. Third, Tyler Riddick. Fourth, Chase Briscoe. Fifth, Chase Elliott. Sixth, Ryan Blaney. Seventh, Daniel Suarez. Eighth, Eric Jones. Ninth, Ty Gibbs. 10th, Joey Logano. The rest, Ross Chastain, Chris Bell, Denny Hamlin, Martin Truex Jr., Josh Berry, Chris Boucher, Austin Dillon, Kevin Harvick, Brad Keselowski, William Byron, Austin Cindric, Kyle Busch, Noah Gragson, Ricky Stenhouse Jr. All right, now we'll talk about last night's season finale of American Idol. It was a good, long, 3-hour show. The show opened with Lil Jon, Pitbull, and the Top 12. It was Lil Jon and Pitbull performing their song Jumpin', and then the Top 12 joined in with Pitbull singing Give Me Everything. The first round of singing, the mentor was Keith Urban. And they all sang Keith's songs. Megan Danielle sang God Whispered Your Name. Ian Tongi sang Making Memories of Us. And Colin performed Stupid Boy. Round 2. Megan sang Faithfully by Journey. Ian Tongi performed Cool Down by Kalei Kai. And Colin performed Either Way by Chris Stapleton. TLC with Lucy Love performed their song No Scrubs, meaning TLC song. REO Speedwagon performed Zachariah Smith to REO Speedwagon's song Take It on the Run. And then a big moment in the show. Your top 2 was revealed, and it turns out to be Ian Tongi and Megan Danielle. The second runner-up, Colin Stow. Then Jenny Roll performed with Lainey Wilson to Jenny's song Save Me, and then Jenny performed Need a Favor, which is another song by Jenny's. Kylie Minogue performed her new song Padam Padam, and it performed with Nutsa, her old song Can't Get You Out of My Head. Then Lionel Richie performed in the top 12, Sail On by the Commodores. Keith Urban had his performance to his song Wild Hearts. Then James Blunt performed with Ian Tongi to Blunt's song Monsters. Then Ellie Goulding performed her song with Calvin Harris called Miracle. And then she sang her song Burn featuring Tyson Venegas. Then Lauren Daigle performed her song These Are the Days. And then her song Thank God I Do featuring Megan Danielle. Full circle moment because Lauren Daigle surprised Megan Danielle at her audition when Megan performed Lauren's song You Say. Then Luke Bryan performed his song But I Got a Beer in My Hand. And then him and Colin Stow performed Slow Hand by Conway Twitty. Jasmine Williams performed with Weani to Jasmine's song Bust Your Windows. Lainey Wilson performed her song Heart Like a Truck with Mary Beth Bird and Warren P. Haven Madison performed with Katy Perry, one of her original songs, Still Need You. That was pretty neat. But Katy was just surreal in that song. Haven is nowhere near on the level of Katy Perry. I would have rather seen Katy perform with like a different finalist, like Tyson Venegas or something like that. Then Ruben Studdard performed with Clay Aiken The Impossible Dream from Man of Lamaka, and Ian Tongi and Megan Danielle came out on the end and sang the end with them, which was awesome. Then each Megan and Ian performed their new singles. Megan performing her new single, Dream Girl, and Ian performing his new single, I'll Be Seeing You. And then the winner of American Idol 2023 Season 21 was announced, and it turned out to be none other than the man, Ian Tongi, who I thought was going to win this competition for over a month now. He was the best singer this season. He deserves it so much. I'm really happy for him. And he performed at the end Don't Let Go by Spawn Breezy at the end of the show. And that's the song he performed in the Top 26 Hawaii episode, which was fun. So a great season of American Idol. I think the right contestant won in Ian. And Megan Danielle is a very worthy runner-up. I think she's going to have her career like a Gabby Barrett type of career, and she's in for big things, I believe. So another season is in the books, and now there you go. All right, MLB Power Rankings we're going to do. We'll go from 30 to 1. And the theme is what we learned so far this year about each team. Number 30 is the Oakland Athletics. Where things stand right now, they are 10-38 on the year. They're awful. What we learned, though, Brent Rooker can get them something back. Brent Rooker's a good, kind of journeyman player that's having a good year for them. They can take advantage of his trade value. 29 to Kansas City Royals, 14-34 on the year. What we learned is that their young pitching has taken a step back. Brady Singer's been terrible. Some of their other young guys really haven't picked up. 28 the Colorado Rockies, 19-28 on the season. What we learned is that Chris Bryant is not the best fit for this team. Power numbers are down, batting average is down. Doesn't have a WAR. 27, the Chicago White Sox. They are 19-29 on the year. And what we learned is that the manager change did not change a thing, unfortunately. 26, the Cincinnati Reds. They are 19-27 on the year. What we learned about them is that Alexis Diaz could net something big back for them. Or is he a keeper? But he's their best trade asset right now. Alexis Diaz. 25, the Washington Nationals, 20-27 on the year. What we learned is that Josiah Gray and Mackenzie Gore are keepers long term. 24, the Chicago Cubs are 20-26 on the year. What we learned is that Justin Steele is the new ace of the staff. 23, the Cleveland Guardians. They are 20-26 on the year. What we learned is that they were likely a one-year wonder because of a bad division. Yeah, they're only 4.5 out. But Stephen Kwan took a step back. They have some injuries. And they might have been a one-year wonder. 22, the Detroit Tigers, 20-24 on the year. What we learned about the Tigers this year is that Javier Baez's contract can go down as one of the worst ones in the while. He's not performed for the Tigers this year despite being only 4 games under 500. But I'm not convinced he's that great of a baseball player anymore. Number 21, the San Diego Padres. They're 21-26 on the year. What we learned is that money can't buy them happiness again. And they keep doing it again and again and again. Soto, Bogarts. And it just hasn't worked. Number 20, the St. Louis Cardinals are 21-27 on the year. What we learned about them is that Nolan Gorman is a true keeper. He really is. leading them in RBIs, home runs, and batting average. Number 19 is the San Francisco Giants. They are 22 and 24 on the year. What we learned for them is that their top three in their rotation are huge for them, and they are tone setters. And I'm referring to Alex Cobb, Logan Webb, and Anthony DeSclafani. Number 18, the Seattle Mariners. They are 22 and 24 on the year. What we learned about them is that Jared Kelenic is finally showing that he is the prized prospect people were killing the Mets for trading, which is really awesome. Number 17, the Philadelphia Phillies are 22 and 24 on the year. What we learned for them is that things will turn around if key guys continue to underperform. Zach Wheeler, Nolan Arenado, Trey Turner, Kyle Schwarber, although the power's there. It's just a list of guys that I feel have underperformed this year for expectation. And especially Turner at that big contract. Number 16 is the Miami Marlins. They are 24 and 23 on the year, over 500. What we learned so far this year is that their pitching is also taking a step back. Sandy Alcantara, not as good as a season as last year. None of their young guys have really stepped up. Luzardo looked good for a little bit, but he's kind of fallen off. Number 15, the Pittsburgh Pirates. What I learned for them is that Andrew McCutchen still has something left in the tank. He really has provided good leadership and really is coming along nicely. Number 14, the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. What we learned for them is that their rotation is a one-man show, as in Shohei Ohtani. And even he's been pitching below average by his standards over the last several weeks. Number 13, the Minnesota Twins. They are 25 and 22 on the year. What we learned from them is that pitching is actually their strength and not their offense. Bailey Ober's been great. Sonny Gray's been great. Pablo Lopez has been very good at times. So the strength of this Twins team is their starting pitching. All right, number 12 is the Toronto Blue Jays. They are 25 and 22 on the year. Last place in the division because that division's really loaded. What we learned for them is that they're baseball's version of the Memphis Grizzlies. Just really a team with no leadership whatsoever. A team that only seems to get in the faces of rivals who are more professional than they are. And whine and bitch and moan about everything. Just like the Grizzlies. Number 11 is the New York Mets, so close to the top 10. Winners of 5 straight. They're 25 and 23 on the year. What we learned for them is that Max Scherzer and Justin Verlander are no longer reliable aces. They can still go out there and pitch a great game every so often, but I don't think they're as consistent as they used to be. Number 10 is the Boston Red Sox. They are 26 and 21 on the season. What we learned for them is that they are better than expected, but will still probably finish in last place in the division. Just a lot of guys are performing. Having Rafael Devers certainly helps as well. Number 9, the Milwaukee Brewers. They're 25 and 21 on the year, first in their division. What we learned so far is that they still need more hitting. Christian Yelich leads them in batting average at like 257. They still need more bats in that lineup. Number 8, the Arizona Diamondbacks. They are 27-20 on the year, first place or game and a half back of first place in the division. What we learned about them is that they have 2 aces for now. They do. We all know about Zach Allen. He's really good. But don't forget about Merrill Kelly. He's been outstanding too. He's an ERA under 3. And he's just been money for the Diamondbacks of late. Number 7 is the Houston Astros. They are 27-19, 2 back of the Rangers for first. What we learned for them so far is that pitching still rules today. They lose Justin Verlander, and their pitching still really good, led by Christian Javier and Jose Urquidy. And Urquidy's out. Framber Valdez. And Hunter Brown's even stepped up for them too. Number 6 is the New York Yankees. 1 spot back of the top 5. 29-20 on the year. Winners of 4 straight. So them and the Mets are combined 9 games winning streak between the two. What we learned so far is that Aaron Judge, the real MVP. He was hurt a few weeks ago. Yankees suffered without him. He's back. They're playing great baseball. And he's having more of an impact on winning than Shohei Ohtani. So Aaron Judge, the real MVP. And he was the real MVP from last year, too. That's even proving. Because they're really not a winning team without Aaron Judge. Number 5 is the Los Angeles Dodgers. They are 29-19 on the year, first in their division. What we learned is that sometimes there's change, but they still own this division. A ton of quote-unquote smart people like me picked the Padres to win the division, but that obviously will not happen barring a big turnaround and a collapse from the Dodgers. But they still rue the day. They're the best team in that division, and I think we're potentially a few weeks away from saying the same thing about the Yankees. Number 4 is the Texas Rangers. They are 29-17 on the year, first in their division. What we learned so far is that Bruce Bochy is still a good manager. Yeah, no shit. He's really done a great job with this roster, and I think he can have them in the postseason this year, like I predicted before the year. Number 3 is the Baltimore Orioles. They are 31-16 on the year. What we learned so far is that last year is not a fluke. They're for real. And they're even better than I thought they were going to be. And I was high on the Orioles coming into this season. From like a long-term standpoint, they're even better than I thought they were going to be. They're really good. Led by Adley Rutschman. And they should be in the mix for the playoffs as well. Number 2, the Atlanta Braves. They are 29-17 on the year. First in their division. What we learned is that Spencer Strider is a real ace. He's just putting up great stats left and right. And he's there to stay for a little bit. And they can afford to lose one pitcher because of him. But not, I don't know if they'll still hold on to their division lead. It looks like they will. But Spencer Strider's for real, man. He's going to be in the Cy Young candidacy pool for a while. And number 1, the Tampa Bay Rays, 34-14 on the year, 20 games over 500, first in their division. And what we've learned so far is that their power from 2021 is back. And a big part of that is Randy Arozarena bouncing back from a tough year last year. And some other guys have stepped up in their offense to give them all those home runs. But yeah, this power that they had 2 years ago is absolutely back. All right, now move on to news and notes. We're going to try to hurry up with news and notes today. We're just going to do rapid fire. The big news of the morning is that Carmelo Anthony announced his retirement. Epic video. And what a great career Melo had. Nuggets, Knicks, bounced around a little bit after that. One of the best players in NBA history to never win a championship, Carmelo Anthony. And then the Hawks congratulated him, which was funny. I think they did that as an LOL. Joe Mazzulla takes the blame for the Celtics blowout loss. Magic Johnson ripped the Celtics and said they got quit, which they did. Anthony Edwards hype for Nikola Jokic on Instagram. And he says he wants Jokic to talk his shit. On Saturday, Charles Barkley made the Nuggets his championship pick. Well, that actually looks good. Jason Tatum defended Joe Mazzulla on Friday night and says Joe ain't missed no shots tonight, which is smart, but he really did not and has not coached well in the playoffs. Charles Barkley takes a shot at Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. They said they're just nice guys that lack the dog that Jimmy Butler has. National Treasure won the Preakness neck and neck and spoils Mage's chances at a triple crown. So congrats to National Treasure, and I think that was Jeff Burns' pick. Jim Brown passes away at the age of 37 on Friday afternoon in his LA home. That's sad. Thoughts and prayers go out to everybody involved there. Mookie Betts' story about the haunted hotel in Milwaukee goes viral. Clayton Kershaw responds to the Padres' full job as they post a crying Kershaw meme on their scoreboard. Jose Altuve back for the Astros after missing 43 games with a broken thumb. He came back on Friday night. Rafael Devers and Xander Bogaerts hug pregame. That was cool. The Orioles drop City Connects as they release new alternate uniforms with vibrant accents. Michigan State commit Cohen Carr took off from the free throw line. Cameron and Caden Boozer, the twins of Carlos Boozer, announced scholarship offers from Carolina on Instagram, so that's pretty cool. Feeney Jr. suffers racial abuse, as he pointed out a fan who allegedly racial abused him in team's loss at Valencia yesterday. And then Vinny Jr. says, racism is normal in La Liga. They got to fix that for sure. They had a long intro video for Brittany Griner. She made her home return. As there was a big roar for her at the Footprint Center. The Rockets are expected to sign Harden, as executives believe that the Sixers that Harden will opt out of the contract to sign with the Rockets, and he might get $200 million on top of that for 4 years, which is ridiculous. The Bucks duo likely to stay. Working assumption around the league is that Chris Middleton and Brooks Lopez will stay with the Bucks this summer. The Warriors made Bob Myers a record GM offer, as it would have made him the highest paid GM if he accepted it. And the Warriors are eyeing him, or the Wizards received the formal interest for the same role in The NBA is considering all-star changes as the league discussing to change all-star game drafts to other concepts, including the return of East versus West. John Cooper roasted TNT analyst Paul Bissonnette a couple of nights ago. Next, we got Jason Spezza resigns from the Leafs as he is no longer part of their front office following the dismissal of Kyle Dubas, as he will not be returning as GM of the Leafs. That's not surprising. We'll see who they hire there to replace him. The Hurricanes PA announcer thought he was done after the third period as he had to apologize. Yankees designate Aaron Hicks for assignment. He's owed $20 million through 2025. This was long overdue. This would have been done before the season had there not been some injuries. And we'll see what happens with Hicks next. And he says he loved being a Yankee. As he says his tenure was the best time of his career after being DFA'd. And Aaron Boone got ejected in the first inning against the Reds after the Reds were given a run on replay. Lane Johnson says he's cleared to return after having surgery on his adductor. Former Jets running back Ty Johnson suffered a torn pec injury while working out. He says the team told him to fix it, but cut him the next day. That's unfortunate. The Rays have interested buyer as local businessman Dan Doyle Jr. is one of several potential new owners seeking to buy a franchise. A couple guys to the injured list. Cody Bellinger, 10-day with knee contusion. Eric Hosmer designated for assignment. So, not good news for the Cubs regarding Bellinger. And then Hosmer is like Aaron Hicks to me. Just a guy that really shouldn't be playing all the time. Manny Machado to the injured list with the fractured bone in his hand. First IL trip since 2014. It just sucks to have a broken bone, he says. Julio Urias to the injured list with a left hamstring strain. That's not good for them. Four-star quarterback Michael Van Buren announces he is going to Oregon over Penn State and Maryland. The Mavs could trade the number 10 pick along with JaVale McGee or Davis Bertans to find immediate help. That's not surprising. And Victor Wembanyama likely to work with Duncan as he's expected to regularly visit the practice facility to work with projected number 1 overall pick Victor Wembanyama. USC Athletic Director Mike Bohn resigns as he says it's the right time to step away as he departs after 4 years as AD and amid ongoing health challenges. So we'll see who gets that job as their AD. The New York Rangers fire longtime trainer Jim Ramsey, has been their trainer since '94. Not great news for Ramsey, one of the best trainers in the world. Something must have happened. There must have been a misevaluation to the point where the Rangers decided to fire him. And Paul Bissonnette of Post went viral. Reddit used a point out that Henrik Lundqvist, a goalie, scored more points than Paul Bissonnette, which was really, really funny. Okay, last but not least, my best bet of the day brought to you by FanDuel. Tough one, but I'm going to go with baseball. There's a couple totals that jumped out to me. I know the Rockies been going over the run total a lot lately, so I'm not going to go there. Instead, I'm going to go with baseball, and I'm going to go under 7.5 between the Astros and the Brewers. 1 unit on it. It's a good pick. Good pitching. Weak hitting. So I'm going to go under 7.5 between the Astros and the Brewers for my best bet of the day. All right, that's it. I'll be back tomorrow recapping everything, looking ahead to tomorrow as well. And maybe we'll have a couple other activities to do, too. Hope you guys have a great day, everyone.